able to Hi everyone, this is Miss Bowen from Pep Practice. We have practice. Pep April 10, 2021. Or you can pay at 51 Duke Street, downtown Kingston. Hi everyone, this is Miss Bowen. Thank you for joining me today. I hope everyone is well on the preparation for the 2021 ability test. We have 29 days to go. So we have less than a month for the examination. So we're in the process of wrapping up on the preparation. Today, we're going to be completing the format for the ability test question. For those who are on my WhatsApp, I'm not sure if you saw the information that I posted about the topics that will be coming on the examination. Those are the same topics that we discussed in our previous classes where we looked on the format of the examination. I'm going to be sharing to the screen shortly the 2019 and 2020 past papers. And we'll continue to look at the different questions, the different type of questions that could come on the 2021 paper that you will get on March the 25th. I hope you're using up the study at our website. I'm going to be sharing once more to the chat. So I have taken it up on my initiative to do class 2 times per week. So we're doing classes bi-weekly now on Wednesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. If you had joined the Wednesday session, we didn't look at the past paper. What we did look at is how to maneuver the study at our website, the one that I just shared to the chat. We looked at some analogy questions. We also looked at some series questions. And we looked at sequences. Or did we look at odd one out? I'm trying to remember if the series are odd one out. One of them. So in our next Wednesday class, we won't be looking at the format. We'll be still going back on the study at our website. For next Friday's class, we won't be looking at the format either because I'm hoping to finish the format of the examination today. So for our classes next week, I will only focus on the different question types that will come on the examination. So I'm going to also be sharing in the chat the different types of questions that we discuss that could come on the examination. I'm bringing it up on my screen and I'm going to be sharing to the chat. So these are the question types that you should place most focus on. Sorry. These are the question types you should place most focus on. So I'm sharing those topics to the chat now. And all of these topics are on the study at our website. So those are the topics. Please copy or write it down or screenshot, whatever medium that you're going to use to save the information. You need to look at these topics in more details. As I said, all of these information are on the study at our website. Sorry, excuse me, please. Sorry about that. So I hope everybody is seeing the topics there in the chat. And as I said, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 7 or 8 topics are the most crucial topics because we're seeing that most of these questions are coming from these topic area. So I was waiting for some other students to join. Before I begin, what I'm going to be proceeding. All right, so I'm sharing to the screen the 2020 and the 2019 past paper. So I'm bringing up the 2019 past paper. I have there the 2020 past paper, and we're going to be toggling back and forth between both past papers just so we can try to figure out what the format is. So as I said, most of what we would have discussed is there in the chat. Those are the topics that are there in the chat. And by now, you should know what types of questions will come on the examination because we have done extended practice on answering the different types of questions that came on both of the ability test past papers, and we spoke in detail about the different topics that we thought that would have, or the different topics that we think will come on the examination. So as I said, we're on our final lap. This is our final lap of preparation for next week. We're going to be having 2 more sessions next week, which is March the 3rd and 5th. The following week, we will not have any of the classes during the week because I'll be hosting a workshop. I'll be hosting a 3-hour-long PEP ability test workshop On March the 13th, I will post the flyers shortly. The cost is $2,500 for the 3-hour-long PEP workshop. And that's on Saturday, March the 13th. Excuse me, please.
Miss,
Yes, sorry about that. So I
you
would
can
like
repeat
for
Miss
all the
Amos?
students who have been participating and who have been in all of our classes, whether you are participating or not, but once you're a participant of the classes that I have been hosting, I would like if you were able to be a part of that workshop. We're going to be doing some intense preparation. We're going to be doing series of questions from different question banks, particularly the question banks that are there that I just shared in the chat from those topic areas. So you can tell your parents to plan for it. Again, the cost is 2,500 Jamaican dollars for 3 hours of intense ability test preparation. And this workshop will be on the 13th of March, 2021, of course. So as I said, it's going to be more in-depth than what we're looking at in these classes. I'm not able to touch on all the different areas that I would like to touch on in these classes simply because of the time constraints. However, in that workshop, I will be putting more focus on the notes behind these questions, and we'll be looking at the different questions in these question sets. Students are going to be paired in groups and they're going to be working in groups and participating in very interactive activities. It is going to be a fun-filled and informative session. I hope you all can join. Also, we have not been going live as of from Wednesday. I'm also not going to be going live for a period in time. I'm not going to be going live for a period of time. We're going to be just focusing on these classes here, just the tight-knit group that we have here, and doing some preparation where that is concerned. However, the videos will be posted on the YouTube page. So if there was a person that was not able to join the class, and clearly because we're not live, they're not able to tune in on the social media pages, the video will be posted afterward on the YouTube. And even though you are in these classes, you can still go on the YouTube channel and watch these videos just to concrete all of what you learned in the class. There is no harm in looking over the information once more. All right. So with that said, I'm going to be going to, I think we had stopped at number 20 something there about. So I'm going to be scrolling down to 20 something there about for both of the questions. And we can continue to look on the format. What I must say though, I have been over these papers for an extended period of time. So it is safe to say that the topics that I sent in the chat, those are the topics that we are going to be focusing on. Those are the topics that are going to be coming in the examination. More importantly, we're going to have a repeater of the analogy questions, the odd one out questions. Those are the ones to pay most attention to. The patterns, the sequences, those are repeated questions where you're seeing more than one questions on these topic areas. For the artificial language with the from the coding and decoding category, we might only see one question on this. So it's not that you won't focus on it, but you won't place so much emphasis on it like you would have placed on the analogy, the odd one out, the necessary component, because those have the mass of the questions. So, sorry. When we go down, we will see where there are different questions being repeated. We can't particularly pinpoint to say that these questions will come back on the examination, simply because there might be one of these questions and not much of these questions to definitely say that these are going to be coming on the examination. But where I would have put that it would have been an assorted amount of questions on fractions, multiples, estimation, and polygons. These are just some of the questions that I'm seeing there on the paper, right? Take, for instance, this question here that I'm showing at number 25. You might not see this question on the 2021 ability test paper simply because, so this is a question that deals with base 10 blocks. We have not seen this question on the 2019 paper. We have only seen it on the 2020 paper. So we're not sure if it's going to be repeated on the 2021 ability test paper. What I can say though is that if you have additional time where your preparation is concerned, you can look at something regarding to base 10 blocks. Give me a second, I'm just responding to someone that sent a chat. All right. So it is not guaranteed that this type of question will come on the 2021 paper. However, it would not hurt for you to look over this type of question if you have additional time to prepare. All right, let me go to the 2019 paper to see if there's a similar question like this on the 2019 paper. We're seeing the series, sorry, the sequence. We're also seeing the passages. We spoke about that. Sorry. This is also a pattern. So we know that patterns will come on the examination. We have seen two picture graphs. We have seen one on the 2020 paper and one on the 2019 paper, and I know it will come back on the 2021 paper. We have seen a pie chart on the 2019 paper. There's no pie chart on the 2020 past paper. However, it would not hurt for you to look over pie charts just in case it comes on the 2021 past, sorry, the 2021 paper. So what I'm saying, students, is that based on the topics that I've sent to the chat, those are the topics that we're focusing on. There might be other topics that we can't quite pinpoint that will come on the examination. But if you have additional time, you can look on topics such as fractions, blood relations, David is twice as old as Rachel. Which order? Okay, this is a sequence. Once it speaks about order, it's a sequence. So the question at number 26, that's a fraction question. However, we're not seeing that on the 2020 paper. It's not sure that it will come on the 2021 paper or a question like this, but you might have a question that is still on fraction, even though it's not looking like this question. Also, for number 28, this is just a general reasoning question. It says a box of 12 light bulbs fell. Some of them are broken. Which of the following could not be the number of unbroken light bulbs? This is just general analytical or quantitative reasoning, just to say that you should be able to determine in your head if there were 12 light bulbs, which one could not be the number of unbroken light bulbs. It's clearly 14 because you can't have more bulbs that are unbroken than the amount of bulbs that were in the box in the first place. So that's just a general quantitative reasoning question. So you can see questions like that coming on the examination also. For number 29, I didn't see any of these questions on the 2020 paper, but it's similar to this here, where it's just general reasoning question. It says, for the question 26 on the 2020 past paper, it's speaking about Jamie giving some clues to a mystery number. So based on the clues that are given, you should be able to determine what number is Jamie's mystery number. Now, as I was saying, students, you might not see a question directly like this coming on the 2021 ability test paper. However, you might see a question that's giving you some reasoning that you have to be thinking, because the question is about the questions on the 2020 and all of the papers for the ability test is about quantitative reasoning and verbal reasoning. So you can think about verbal reasoning and quantitative reasoning from any category that can come on the examination. What we basically identified in our previous classes was the ones that stood out most, the ones that we could definitely see repeating, and then we can say that they are going to be coming on the 2021 paper, simply because they have been repeated on both of the past papers. But for the latter parts of the past paper, it's not so easy for us to determine the types of questions that will come similar, because we're not going to be able to determine what is going to be on the 2021 paper, because we're just not able to see the clear pattern that is taking place on both of these past papers, because we're seeing the questions being assorted or just a mixture of questions there. Number line. The number line did not come on the 2019 past paper, but it might come on the 2021 paper. So it's good to just have these information in your head just in case it does come on the actual paper that you're going to be doing. So for the latter part of the paper, you're seeing where the questions are being mixed. It's not as clear as we would have seen the analogy question, seeing the odd one out questions. These are just assorted questions that are just mixed from every different area of quantitative and verbal reasoning. So in order for you to be able to score 100 or to be in the top 90 percentile for the ability test, you will need to prepare widely. You can prepare based on the topics that I have sent to the chat, and based on the topics that we have. Those are the same topics that we have discussed in our classes before when we were examining the format. However, it would also help if you are also rounded, where you're not narrowed where the information is concerned. So you can be looking in your first aid in English just to get the analogy question, but also just go through your mathematics book just to see what are odd numbers, what are even numbers, what number lines look like, right? So just different things you can be doing and looking at just so that you will be more prepared. You can look at perimeters, area, just so you are well prepared, and anything that comes on the paper you will be able to deal with, right? For number 29. All right, before I come to number 29, let me scroll down because I wanted to look if there was a similar question to what I saw on the 2019 paper. All right. So we're seeing something here about mystery numbers and clues, even though it's not on the 2019 past paper, but we're seeing it repeated twice on the 2020 paper, where we're seeing Jamie giving clues about a mystery number, and then when we scroll down, we saw where Mary was also giving, Sam was also giving Mary some clues to determine also a number. So we can safely say that you might get a question on the 2021 paper that speaks about giving you some clues to find a missing number, right? So that's one other topic that we can add to the number of topics that we would have mentioned before. Here is an estimation or an approximation question, and we spoke about that coming on the examination. Well, I sent that in the topic area to say that you can look at estimation or approximation, or for the matter of fact, you can look at rounding off, because all of those fall in the same category. This question repeated on both papers, where it spoke about, so far, I'm not seeing where this question is coming back, this type of question. It's not that it won't come on the 2021 paper, sorry, but I'm not seeing where it has repeated on both past papers. I'm going to come back to this question because I wanted to point out the similarity between this question and another question on the 2020 past paper, but I'm going to scroll on to the question that I left off on. The question that I left off on the 2020 paper. All right, see, we're seeing the estimation question here, the approximation question here, so that's something that we can look at. For number 32, I'm just going down since we're passing these numbers. We have not seen this question, this type of question on the 2019 paper, but it does not mean that a similar question will not come on the 2021 paper. This is a question about area, so that's something that you can look at as well. We spoke about tables, and I'm going to be showing you the table on the 2019 paper shortly. I think this question is more. Oh yes, we're seeing pie charts. I said earlier that we didn't see any pie chart on the 2019 paper, but we are seeing pie charts. So it's safe to say that you can also look at pie charts. I think I do have that as one of the topics. This is a general quantitative reasoning question. Number 38, that's a general quantitative reasoning question. That's not from a particular category per se, but it's just a general, reasoning question. Give me a second, please. Sorry about that. You're seeing also a graph here. Apparently the question I was looking for is, oh no, it's right there. I wondered if I missed it. All right, let's look at the similarity between these two questions here. Toggling to the 2020 paper. This is basically the same type of question. However, it was structured differently. In the paper, in the 2020 paper, they gave a diagram, but in the 2019 paper, there was not a diagram. All right, let me start reading so I can show you the similarity. The diagram below shows a certain number of marbles in a bag. Half of them are red. The number of blue marbles is the same as the number of green marbles. Which of the following could not be the number of marbles in the bag? We're not looking at the answer. Let's look at this question on the 2019 paper now. A bag has a certain number of red, blue, and green marbles. Are you seeing the similarity already? Half of the marbles are red. There is the same number of blue marbles as green marbles. Which of the following could not be the number of marbles in the bag? So are you seeing that this is the same question basically, but it is worded differently? And also for the 2020 paper, there's a diagram. And for the 2019 paper, there's not a diagram. So this is a repeated question. However, they have different answers and the question is just worded differently or the format looks different. So you might think it's not the same question. It's the same way you're answering this question. All right. All right, let's scroll up to look at the table. And this is a quadrilateral, a parallelogram. So it's also good to look at this too as well, just to be familiarized with these types of information. So if something comes on the paper similar to that, you can be able to identify quickly what is this question about. And then you're familiar with the information and you could be able to better help yourself in answering the question. All right, let's look at the table on the 2020 paper. There's a table on the 2020 paper. I think we're going farther down. For number 33, we are not seeing anything similar to number 33 on the 2019 paper. However, it's still, this is just a general quantitative reasoning question. So you might not see a question that is repeated. However, if you try to think out of the box, try to think about scenarios, where you're reasoning out things, where you're thinking about numbers, when it comes to quantitative, or you're thinking about letters or words when it comes to verbal, right? And you are just reasoning out. You ever hear anybody say, I'm reasoning with my mom, I'm reasoning with my friend? So you're kind of having just a conversation and trying to build around a topic and try to make sense of something, right? That's what the reasoning is all about, all right? So if you're able to develop those skills within yourself, then you are better able to answer these questions, no matter what question bank or what topic area the ministry is going to be sending on the 2021 paper. Once you're familiar with reasoning out numbers and reasoning out words, you should not have a problem on the examination come March the 25th. All right, let me scroll on to the table. So for the 2020 past paper, this table looks different from the 2019 past paper, but it's still a table nonetheless, right? And you will have 1, 2, so there's 2 questions on this table. And for the 2020 paper, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. So it's safe to say that you might have anywhere between 2 to 4 questions on the table for the 2021 paper. These are analysis where we're using data we were provided before. This is data, this is information that we are privy to. And there's something called data analyst or data analytics, right? And in the field that I'm in, such as the computer science field, I'm more inclined to make logical judgments or analysis, evaluations on different data sets. So we're given these two papers, and these two papers are presented with data. These are the questions. We don't have to hear from anyone that this is going to come on the 2021 paper because of our capability of reasoning and evaluating things and looking with a fine-teeth comb. That's what people would say. Going through and deciphering through the different data that we're given, we're able to see similarities and we're able to predict patterns. That's what data analytics is all about, predicting patterns. Even for the COVID virus, the COVID pandemic, there were data before from SARS and the other viruses. And based on those data, scientists and other researchers were able to determine a pattern. When we talk about even the hurricanes, the meteorologists uses these information that they're given before to predict patterns. So in various ways, people are always using data, even at school. The grades that are being recorded at school from the previous students that came before, those are data that teachers can use to predict and say, all right, probably these mathematics topics are going to be difficult, because I've seen where, every math test that I've given on fractions, people are not grasping the information. Probably I need to revisit how I teach fractions. So we're given data to make analysis, to determine patterns. We're given data so we can use what we know to predict what will come. So no one has to tell us basically what will come on the examination. We can use past information that we're given to determine what will come. So someone might say, how Miss knows that these are the topics will come? How Miss is so sure? Because of strategies. These are strategies that have lasted throughout decades. Once you're given data, you can analyze data, go through it over and over, look on, make patterns, make relationships with what will come based on what we have seen before. So we have seen tables on both of these past papers. It is safe to say that tables will come on the 2021 paper. The ministry is not creating anything new, students. These are the same formats that they're going to be using. There might be different questions, as well as there might be repeated questions. However, if you're following these patterns, you should not have a problem. All right. And we saw the pie chart coming back, and this is a quantitative reasoning question. And this is also a line graph. So if you're familiarizing yourself with all of these information, you should not have a problem. And we have seen the repeater of question 40 on the 2020 paper. It's just in a different format. This is a kite. It's also a quadrilateral. We're looking at a star there, which is a polygon. And number 40 on the 2020 paper is a general quantitative reasoning question. Students, you have been equipped with valuable information. These are information that are not exposed otherwise. I'm not sure what is the breakdown, why the information is not being deciphered in the way that I'm doing and is not being brought across. but that's not what we're here to debate about. We are just here to say that you have been equipped, the numerous resources have been shared. The Sawal website, I'm sharing it back to the chat. The Study Other website, the Braining Camp web app. I'm going to try to do a session next week on the Braining Camp web app. I think that's what I'm going to be looking at on Friday. And as I said, on Wednesday, I'm going to be looking at the Sawal and Study Other website. On Friday, I might do a little bit of the Study Other website with the Braining Camp web app. But students, you have been equipped. I am here with you. I have been supporting you. This is our 7th week of preparation. And I have been here and I have researched and I have digged up and I have done so much things so I can be better able to assist you in your preparation for the 2021 mental ability test. Do not let the information fall on deaf ears. That's another proverb. Simply meaning, do not waste or do not take the information that you're given as granted or for granted. Use the information. I'm sharing the Study Other website once more to the chat. I'm sharing the Sawal website once more to the chat. I'm sharing also the Braining Camp website to the chat. I'm sharing my number to the chat. For students who have my WhatsApp number, you have messaged me and I have responded. Students who still do not have the past papers, please reach out to me. I saw a parent reaching out to me yesterday via email. She said that she saw the videos on YouTube and wanted some additional information. And as soon as I read the email, I was there attaching the past papers and other resources that I have. If you're there and you're finished with going through whatever past papers you were sent and you're on the Study Other website and having challenges, reach out to me. If you're there not knowing how to manipulate the Sawal website or have a challenge with the Braining Camp web app, reach out to me. I'm available all the time. I tell my students, my private tutoring classes, I am available 24/7. I'm also lending that assistance to you. Reach out to me whenever you're having any challenges. I will assist or I will make sure that I'm trying to assist to the best of my capabilities. And students, the resources are there on the World Wide Web, the big internet, the network of information. I know you are online. I'm not sure what you're there doing online. I hope you are preparing yourself. And if you are not, please start doing so. Your future is at stake and they have only one shot at the examination. And need I remind you, the examination is 29 days away. I'm going to be ending the screen share now because we're finished with the format of the examination. The topics in the chat, sharing them once more. Please, students, I urge of you to continuously prepare. After the exam is finished, you can take a vacation. I have always said that, and I encouraged parents who see children working, although in this COVID, we don't know what the vacation looks like anymore. However, reward students who put in work. If you are putting in work, suggest it to your parents that after all of this preparation, I need a little incentive. I need a little reward for all the work that I've put in. You don't want the examination result to come out and you're crying because you're going to a school that you don't want to go to. You want the examination result to come out and you're laughing and smiling and filled with joy because you have done all you could have done and there's no more you could have done to prepare yourself. right? You have 3 sets of examination. This is just one examination. Once you're finished with the ability test examination, you're going to see the monster. I don't want to scare you, students, but the performance test is going to be more challenging than the ability test examination. It will be, because simply there are no answers on the paper. You will have to rely on your brain and your God-given talents for some of you who are just really gifted at solving numeracy problems or very good where literacy is concerned. But for those students who are still having issues where performance tasks are concerned, reach out to me after the workshop. And I'll repeat again, the workshop is for $2,500. Please tell your parents, let them prepare for it. It's going to be such an intense preparation session. After we're finished with, that workshop, we can safely say, we can pack it up and put the ability test behind us. 3 hours, interactive, informative, and fun. I try to make whatever I'm doing interesting for the student so they can be engaged, right? And that's on the 13th of March. And that's where our ability test preparation will end. Even though the ability test is on the 25th, when we resume the following week, which is the Wednesday. Let me bring up the date. The Wednesday of March, the 17th, we will no longer be looking at ability tests. We're putting that behind us. We're starting with our performance task preparation. Students, I urge you, reach out to me. Get the past papers if you have not already done so. And get on the website if you have not already done so. You still have 29 days to prepare for the ability test. And we are going to commence with our preparation on the 13th of March, and we're going to be moving into the performance task preparation simply because we need additional time. Go back to the YouTube page, watch the videos. When you're not understanding something, pause, repeat. That's the beauty of videos. You should not have a problem. I have been with you 7 whole weeks, not entirely throughout the week, but for 7 weeks. I have not left your side. I'm here. This is something that I have integrated in my life just for the benefit of you students, right? If you're having any challenges whatsoever, again, reach out to me. We have 1 more week, technically, to prepare for the examination. As I said, the following week, we won't have any free classes. We will only have the 1 workshop on March the 13th. Save the date, speak to your parents, be a part of the workshop, and come and let us reel this one in. I want all my students in the top 90 percentile in Jamaica, and I believe we can do it. Reply in the chat if you believe you can do it. Definitely you should be able to do so. All right, I'm sharing my number once more. And I'm sharing my email once more. Yes, Leah Lewis, you can do it. Yes, Adania, you can do it. Yes, Kyle, you can do it. We all can do it. We are equipped enough, right? And if you have missed any of the session, yes, Kavana, you can do it. Yes, Amarian, you can do it. Yes, all of us can do it. That's a group effort. I want us to feel it and know that we are okay and we're well prepared. And if you have missed any of the sessions, go to the YouTube page. I'm going to be sharing the YouTube page to the chat. and watch the videos, students. Watch the videos and pause them, rewind them, go and look at the information there because you have been equipped. There's the website. I'm going to be sharing the website. There's the website. Yes, means you can do it. I'm going to be sharing the website. And there's additional information on, this is my website. There's additional information on the website to help you. I think next week, I'm going to be giving away some more booklets. I was waiting for some of the other participants who won booklets to pick them up before I gave out any more booklets, but I think next week it is high time enough that I start giving out some more booklets so you can be more prepared for those who need these booklets, all right? So that's the website, and I'm sharing the YouTube page, and that's where we're going to end for today. Students, you have no need to worry. I'll be holding your hand all the way up to the examination. And there's nothing that you should be having challenges with. So that's the YouTube link. Head on over to the YouTube page and watch the videos that you have missed. And if you have already participated in the class and you have already watched some of the videos, it does not hurt to watch them once more just so you can concrete down information and see how I went step by step and went through the past papers. As I said, we're not going to be looking back at any of the past papers simply because we have passed that part of our preparation. We're now, for the next week, going to be just looking at some quantitative reasoning questions and some verbal reasoning questions from the topic areas that I mentioned. I'm sharing the topics once more to the chat. Please save, screenshot, copy whatever method that you're going to be using to get this information from the chat. And I wish you a safe and productive weekend. Leverage the time and use it wisely. All right. I'll see you next week. This is Miss Boyne. Have a great weekend once more. All right.
The chair.
That is where we end for today.